Everybody. We are live. We are live on the After Dark with Malcolm and Lisa show on Real Talk 100 Radio. Y'all know how we do it, y'all know how we do it. We get on live all the time. We get on live on the radio every day, and we make sure others shine just like we want to shine. A lot of people in the world don't want you to shine. They want all
Nope.
the shine for themselves, but we make sure on our network everybody shines. Everybody that comes across our path shines. There are no crabs in the buckets here. Well, I'll take that back. There are crabs in the bucket, but we're the kind of crabs that reach back down into the bucket and pick other people out so they can get out of that bucket too. So tonight is no different. Tonight is no different. A special edition on Friday night of the After Dark with Malcolm and Lisa show on Real Talk 100 Radio. My partner's not here tonight. She's out at JW's place, Soul Food and Barbecue tonight. She is the GM. Y'all go out there and get something good to eat. This show is brought to you by JW's place, Soul Food and Barbecue. It's located on 14900 I-45 South, Conroe, Texas, 77384. It's the best soul food you've yet to have. I promise you that. Y'all go check them out. I'll be there tomorrow. Tonight, it's all about Kiland, a.k.a. Mr. Houston, y'all. A.k.a. Mr. Houston is in the building. Mr. Houston, what's going on, my man?
Oh, it's a good day in the neighborhood, Mr. Rogers used to say, and I'm going with that. I'm going with that.
It's a
How are
good
you,
day in
sir?
the neighborhood, huh?
Yes, sir. It is. It is. It truly is. How are you today?
Pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. Just trying to get through another day. We do a lot here at the station, a lot at our offices, man, and you. After I get done with you, I'm back to work. We do a lot here. I'll just leave it at that.
Well,
So
good. That's good for business and for your mental health.
yes, sir. Mental health. That's a big subject here at Real Talk 100 Radio, my man. A big subject
Wow.
here. We believe in taking care of that mental health. I make sure I punch
Yes.
out. I punch out at least once a day just to get me some me time.
Oh, absolutely. 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 I walk 3 miles in the morning, sometimes three, mainly two. But today I did three. To just get that mental health because there's something about just touching the air, with your body in the morning. It's really helps, channeling motivational thoughts and videos or music or just whatever to get your mind right. Because soul man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So I believe in that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I need to start doing that too. I believe the other day when we spoke, you were on a walk. I believe. Uh,
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
need.
I'm getting up there in age. When you get 30, you got to do something. And I'm sticking with that.
I
Yeah.
counted. I counted. I counted 30. Huh? All
30,
right.
yeah, 30 something, 30 plus something, 30 plus 5 plus 10. I don't know which one it is. Maybe 30 plus 20. I don't know. But we gonna let those that have a gift see if they can figure it out. But I ain't telling. No, I'm actually glad to be 50 years old. I'm turning 51 in November. And so I'm very glad to have that milestone and be able to do things that are appropriate for my age, as well as some things that young folk are still doing too. So yeah.
Yes, sir. I love the way it sounds, sir. I love the way it sounds. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to take up the practice of walking myself because I'm about to make 53 in November, and I have a bad hip. I have a bad hip. I can't do high impact running anymore like I used to do. I can't do it anymore, so I'm gonna have to take up walking because I'm getting a little bit of a pouch there, man. I don't like pouches. I don't like pouches at all.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I feel you. Well, we're so glad to be here with you today. So excited about the things that we got coming up. And more importantly, we are really anticipating a great venture that we're going to be doing in the city of Conroe within the next couple of weeks here, joining forces with a friend of mine that I've known over a decade, Miss Webb. And so glad to bring some business brands together, some names that have been doing some things in their own right in the city of Houston. And so we're grateful to God for her and for the entire staff at JW's, and looking forward to getting out there and getting some of that good food. You know, it's really important that in this dispensation that you really join hands with people. Partnerships is everything. So we're excited about the partnership. I've been quite busy. It's my second interview, second of three today that I've done, and I'm doing one more tonight. We've got some movie projects and some music that's come out, and a new music song, new motion picture soundtrack as well as a new movie that I'm starring in. And then I've launched my new wine, and so I'm just really kind of just enjoying life and enjoying productivity, and that's exciting. So we definitely want to talk to you all about some of those things today.
Amazing, man. Another interview tonight. Well, you had a busy schedule today. You had one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was. I was on Channel Two, KPRC, CBS for Houston Life this morning. The new motion picture is entitled "Jacob, Broken by God," which tells a story about how a man has everything, loses everything, and then still gains back everything that he had plus then some. Just really, being a church boy, that the scriptures call that all things working together for the good, and that's kind of my motto here over here. And so we're excited about that project. It has a nationwide release this Sunday, October 9th, at the Deluxe Theater. So we're excited about that. So did a show today, got this show tonight, this, and then we're on Isaiah Carey's Fox 26 tonight at 10:30 live there in the studio. Going to be talking even more about it. So
Awesome. A man that moves around. Can't
yeah,
get
we
into
got to move around, brother, and you got to drink.
We are with Kiland, y'all. We're AKA Mr. Houston. Mr. Houston, how did you get that name, sir?
I knew that was coming because it always ends up being a topic of conversation. The name Mr. Houston came from a promoter that's local here by the name of Oscar McGar. He had seen me perform, and of course, I had been here in Houston performing at local venues for the last 20 something years. Being an entertainer and coming from a family full of music, my mother had her own band, orchestra of about 50 pieces in Seoul, Korea in the late 70s, and was a jazz and recording artist with Motown, and had actually done some motion pictures as well. And
Oh,
so, kind of following in her footsteps, she passed a couple years ago. I continued to sing and continued, of course, started in church, and that migrated to actually being in entertainment. Outside of the four walls of the church, using my gift to make a living, and God saw fit to use that to provide for me. And but in the interim of that, I always gave my best at every show, whether it be three or 30,000. I've sung in front of both. And one of this particular gentleman saw me sing in small venues as well as big venues, and says, "Man, your show is just excellent. Pound for pound, you are the greatest entertainer, male entertainer here in the city of Houston. Matter of fact, you are Mr. Houston. I call you Mr. Houston." And so that kind of stuck for a little bit, but it wasn't until he spoke that simultaneously I was working on my actual calling, if you will, which is commercial development and job creation and economic wealth, creating economic wealth for all classes of life. And so I was working on a project at the time that was going to employ about 25,000 people here in the city of Houston. So that type of entrepreneurial pursuits lended itself favorable to the name, because if I could pull that off or work toward that goal, then I would be impacting the city of Houston, and it wouldn't be just a stage name associated with music. It would be a name that is associated with job creation, job wealth, and entering into the political and the social arenas. Trying to being out there in those areas, doing the groundwork where people can pay their mortgage because of working for me, and that's my goal. So I accepted the name because of that only, not because of my singing, because singing just seems to be the thing that brings me into these environments. But the purpose is the purpose. It is the goal, and still is to this day.
awesome. Awesome. Love your mindset, sir. Love your mindset. Mr. Houston. Mr. Houston is live on a After Dark with Malcolm and Lisa show on
Hey,
Real Talk Radio tonight. We want you guys to make sure you give him a follow tonight. Kylan, where can they find you on social media?
Well, you can find me at social media at Kiland Entertainment. That's Kiland Entertainment. That is also that's my handle for my Instagram, and you can Google me Kiland, or just go directly to my website, which is I am Kylan, IAM, and then Kiland.com. I am Kylan.com. I'll get you everything that's going on with me.
Check him out, y'all. Check him out. This is Kylan. He's a very interesting guy. And with no more further ado, we're going to dig into that right now. Kylan, you do a lot, sir. You're an actor. We're going to talk about that. We talk about your upcoming events, your upcoming singing events that you're going to be having at JW's and all around Houston. You're a singer. You're an actor. Let's talk about this wine too later on in the conversation. Let's start off with your acting skills, sir. What is the movie that you're promoting right now?
Well, the motion picture that I'm promoting now is called Jacob Broken by God, as I shared earlier, and it is a local produced motion picture that has already won several national awards, several film festivals internationally. Has been awarded with. It's a faith based motion picture that, as I said earlier, deals with the coming home of sort, if you will, of the mind and of the potential of a young man that felt that he had it all together and had some things together, lost some things, and then gained ultimately everything through his mindset and approaching and putting family first. And so that movie, I was blessed to be a part of it. Once again, Mr. Houston was singing in a public venue, doing what I do, one of the things that I do, and someone pointed me out, and that led into an audition, and then that audition has led into back into acting as being one of my most sought after actually ambitions right now. I started when I was 18 years old, in acting in a play called Mama Don't with the late great Michael Matthews, and then in 2019 I did another play here in the city of Houston called Soul Purpose, and that was with myself and Howard Hewitt and a great cast. Sold out the Worthing Theater there, and so that bug got into me. And when I stepped on stage once again, I felt something that was another part of me, and acting has become yet another part of me, part of the wealth stream. And the potential that I have within me. So I'm really excited about it. I'm working on a couple projects. I have a couple of movie projects that I'm in negotiations with now, and looking at some sitcoms as well as some reality TV, and the list just goes on. The ultimate goal is to become an executive producer for motion pictures, and to be involved and receive my Oscar. And by the grace of God, I'll be there.
Very ambitious man. I like that. I like that. I like that. You want to be in Hollywood, and this is
Yes, sir. Yeah,
good.
I want to be there. I really want to be in all the woods. Hollywood, glory, Hollywood, Glorywood, Heavenwood, Wealthwood. You know.
Very
Yeah.
ambitious. Hopefully,
Yes,
I
sir.
will be right alongside you, man. That is a great ambition to have. To be in all of the woods, like he said. I've never heard it put that way, but that's
I
very
never said it that way either. It just came. I just yeah, multiple streams, multiple yeah, multiplicity is actually crucial to success in my opinion.
exactly. Multiplicity is crucial. You gotta have it. You gotta have it these days. You're not gonna get rich at a 9 to 5. It's not gonna
No,
happen.
no.
You're not gonna be wealthy. You have to diversify your income and get into different industries. You have to dig and dabble and grind until you get there. But 9 to 5s, you'll never get there. Never. So I definitely agree with you on that. Mr. Houston is in the building. Y'all make sure you share the video. I know some of you are just getting home, cooking dinner. I know most of you will watch the replay, but those of you who are tuned in with us tonight on the After Dark with Malcolm and Lisa show on Real Talk 100 Radio, make sure you get to know Mr. Houston. He's doing a lot in the Houston and greater surrounding areas. We're talking about his acting ambitions, his singing ambitions, his upcoming events that he has coming, singing. Let's talk about more about his social media later. But right now, let's get back to singing. You got started at 18, correct?
No, I got started at 3 when I was started singing. I was a PK, it stands for Prep Pastor's Kid, and
Okay.
my father, my grandfather pastored in Tucson, Arizona, and then my mother went on pastor, my father went on pastor, and I even went on to pastor. But music was always there because I was always involved in some type of capacity singing. And so that's where I grew up. I grew up singing in church, and then that church, of course, grew into other opportunities that's that. And so fast forward 30, 35, 40 years now, and I've released my new album entitled His Love Confessions, which is available on all streaming platforms, iTunes,
What is it
Spotify.
again?
It's called His Love Confessions. Basically, it's the confessions of love from the male perspective, how we feel about our family, divorce, wives, children, marriage, reentry, dating, being responsible, how to maintain love, how to keep love, and how to mess up love, and all the vicissitudes that come therein. It's it's 30 years in the making, about 17 songs, and I've written 13 of them. And then I also pay tribute on 4 of the songs to the late great Donny Hathaway, to Stevie Wonder, to the incomparable Mr. Luther Vandross, and even some other legends that's like Bobby Caldwell and Bill Withers. So his love confessions. It's it's maintain love, keep love, uh, and love is work. So and hopefully the soundtrack gives you a soundtrack to get that done.
And this soundtrack will be played in the Jacob movie.
Well, it's interestingly enough, 5 of the songs, I think I think no 6 of the songs that are on that were on that I wrote. 6 of my songs rather got placed on the motion picture soundtrack for Jake Broken by God, and I'm really excited about that. And like I said, the young man goes through very profound changes and challenges in life as being a husband, a father, and being a son, and being an entrepreneur, business person, being a man. I think being a man is actually something that is not really shared and discussed a lot, and that's why I wrote the album, His Love Confessions, because we have heard so many times through the wonderful women in our music world, from the great Diana Krall to Diana Ross to Aretha Franklin fast forward to Janae Aiko and Jill Scott, her and Beyonce. All these wonderful women have given us a diary of great music of how women perceive, receive, and respond to love. However, men are not necessarily haven't given us a thorough diary of how men feel about love. How we hear about the getting of a girl and having a girl, and ooh, I want your girl, and you broke my heart, girl. But I wrote a song in particular that's called Straight From Me, that deals with the fact that the words are dealing with the sentiments of a man who is not necessarily good at talking, but has love for his wife and woman. And he says to her, he says stuff like, even when you think I don't notice and I forget to mention how much I love you. There's not a moment in my day that I don't love you. I'm always thinking of you, and you're hearing it straight from me. Brother breaks down. He says, woman, you're what makes this man better. And right
Yes.
down to the letter, I'm gonna have my heart. So I'm love you wherever, however, whenever. And everything you're gonna need is coming straight from me. Just real talk, man. Real man talk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of women don't hear us talk that way. And you're right. You're exactly right. And I just put the question up on the screen, going along with what you're talking about. Men haven't divulged how we feel about love, and we don't divulge our love language a lot. And so, Kyland is talking about how he is divulging how men should be communicating, correct?
Yeah, yes. I mean, of course, I don't have all the answers. I'm only one man, but I have my experiences. But I want to. There's a 3-letter word on there on that question at the end of it. It says why, and I'm very glad that that's there because whenever I get a chance to actually divulge or to elaborate on this conversation, it's very crucial. I think that the why goes back to our mothers and our families and how we were raised. You know, it is sociological and very typical for the male children to be taught in their adolescence when they're hurt or bruised or hurt on the playground or just hurt overall. Hush up, boy. Be quiet. You don't cry, but boys don't cry. And that's okay. So scrape it off. You all right, big boy, big man, big man. And so psychologically, we're praised for being disconnected to what hurt us. Let's talk about that again. Let me say that again. We are praised for being disconnected from what hurt us. And
Yes,
then
sir.
and that is what we do as mothers and as sometimes as men. Oh boy, I ain't raising no girl. Get up now. Don't sit there and cry over that. Dust that off. It's just a little blood. It ain't gonna hurt you. And there's nothing wrong with actually teaching a child that to learn the difference between an injury and being injured. That's a whole nother conversation. But the reality of it is that if you fast forward to our adulthood, we embark upon a journey to be with the opposite sex that requires us to be connected to how we feel, to what hurt us. And then so we go from a mother that says, don't talk and don't cry about that. I don't want to hear nothing about what hurt you, boy. You grow up. Now you a man. Now you can't be. And we go to a woman that says, talk to me about how you feel. What happened? What's wrong? How come you don't talk to me? What's you don't ever open up. And
Right.
so I think that is not necessarily the quintessential reasons why. I think there are some other things some other dysfunctional things that happen, uh, you know, in our families and in our communities that we don't talk about because a lot of people didn't talk about my generation of parenting and grandparents. They didn't talk about no life stuff. They didn't teach you how to do nothing. They taught you be a man, be a girl, don't be fast, don't be mannish, keep your hands to yourself, don't steal, and love God, and don't you dare look at no other body unless you marry. You can't even look at them till they marry. It's like, okay, well, really, what if I don't like them once I open my eyes and I'm married? But anyway,
Right. Right.
that's a whole
Exactly.
other show. Uh,
Exactly.
so men haven't divulged how they feel about love. Why? Because it's never been a safe place. It's never
Yeah.
been taught to us that we can talk about how we feel about love because being sensitive was defined as being weak,
Yes, sir. Weak and soft.
weak and soft. And so therefore, now we got counseling, and now the only emotion that was allowed, that was not frowned upon, is anger. And
Right.
that's why most men we can yell real good. We can be physical real good. Ain't no problem. You piss us off, it's on and popping. Let me tell you what you're not gonna do, you know. But
Yes.
but you can't tell, but we're not good at telling us what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What is a man? What is a husband? What does that mean
Right.
beside a title? It ain't
Right.
sex, it ain't a job, you
Yes.
know. What is it? So, these are things that I try and address is some in the music, and some of it is actually addressed in the motion picture of Jacob Broken by God.
Okay. Okay. That's awesome. So in your music and in your acting roles in your music, you try to clear the air, so to speak,
Or
between
shed light.
shed light on why men are so tight-lipped, and that's a great way to put it. I love the
Yeah.
way you verbalize that because we talk about that sometimes on one of our shows. We have a show called What Up Radio. It airs every Thursday night, and on that show, it's two men and a woman, and I usually step in as the older head there because they're a young group. I usually step in as the older head and give my perception, my assessment of things from an older perspective. And what you just said is talked about a lot. Women want us to. I get in trouble all the time. Every relationship I've been in, I've gotten in trouble for one thing, and that is they can never get the side of me that everybody else can't get. Okay. And to
Okay.
me, I answer them the same way you just said. All my life, I've been told to be tough and hardcore. And every time I show my soft side, I'm looked upon as being weak or soft. So I keep that tough exterior up. The soft
Right.
side is in here, and it takes a lot to get to it. And all of
Yeah.
them see that. All of them see the soft side, but
Oh yeah.
they want all of it, and I just can't give it all to them. I
Well,
just
you
can't.
know, like I said, we've been taught not only we've been taught how to think. Brother, it's not even so much how people are going to judge you, it's really how you judge yourself. Because if we felt that it wasn't soft to be soft, then we would, because there are things that we do uh, that we don't give a who, what people think. There are certain ways that we do it for us because we like it. We smoke what we smoke, we drink what we drink, we wear what we wear, and sometimes that is or isn't a reflection of what other people like. So we don't always need people to approve, but what we do need to do is have something called self-esteem.
So
And the self-esteem in most men has never been built, and certainly has been targeted and broken because we see ourselves through the mirror of the things that we've done. And that's a whole nother topic, of really learning how to do what you do and not be labeled as what you've done, and see that you are more than where you've been, where you come from, and the mistakes you made.
that's right. That's
A
right.
whole nother topic. Yeah,
A
yeah.
whole nother topic. I see we're gonna have to have you back because this can get deeper than it should be tonight. We're sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It can get real deep because love and life and is difficult. There's a song that's on the album that's called "I'm in Love with You," and there's another song called "Good Man," and both of these songs deal with with the vicissitudes, the negative of love, but yet that is positive. Kind of how in the same vein that James Brown said it's a man's world. It's a man's world. It's a man's world. But then he comes around and says, there's a fact that hey, man made the tree, man made the plains, man, but it wouldn't be nothing without him. And so what I did is I talked about one song says, "I'm in love with you," and the title sounds good till you hear the lyric. The lyric goes, uh, uh, the second verse goes, "Girl, there's just something about you." Uh, uh, how to say it? Uh, there's something about you, girl. I think sometimes I'd rather be alone without you. I get these feelings that I can't explain. Now these opportunities out here, they knocking, and sometimes I want to answer, but you got this crazy effect on me because sometimes the one that you love is the one that brings you a world of pain. And the
Yes,
reality of it is that I know this, but I'm in love with you. I'm in love. And I think I'm crazy because something about your toxic behind I can't get rid of. Oh man, I tell you, yeah, I put some soul into this one, dog. I put some, yeah, I put a couple marriages and a divorce or two into the music.
I hear the pain coming out of it. I hear the pain
Yeah,
coming.
it's beautiful though. It's beautiful because what don't break you make you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
Yeah.
love the way you're verbalizing everything tonight because it's truth coming out of your voice tonight. It's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman's touch. And let our listening audience know what the last song you made reference to is
The
called
last
what?
song I made reference to was called "I'm in Love with You,"
And it
and there's
explains
another.
what?
Pardon me, say it again.
And it explains what exactly?
And it explains the fact that being that I don't like you some days. I don't, but I
And
love
that
you.
and a lot
But I
of
love
people,
you.
a lot of people
Yeah.
in relationships don't want to hear that.
It's the
And,
truth, though. It's the
and
truth. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like your mama. I don't like the way you look like your mama. I don't like the way your little friends think. I don't like I don't like how you mouthy. I don't like how you are demanding, how you are insensitive, how you just nag me, or I just don't like that you don't listen. I don't like that I have to repeat things. I don't like having to answer. One of the things that women don't understand is men hate to be questioned. We don't mind. Um, We don't mind talking to you, but we hate for the conversation to feel like we're being questioned, because being questioned reminds us of being under authority. And under authority either reminds us of mama or the police. And it's like,
That's
okay, hey, and those two people, you either get slapped, the taste out your mouth, or you're gonna be put in cuffs, or your life might be even taken on the sidewalk. So,
that's right.
and some of that is our issues. I'm not putting that all on ladies. Some of us men need to rather, learn the difference between having a healthy conversation and being accountable versus being demasculated. Because so accountability is in the Bible. You're gonna have to answer for everything. So you can't
Right.
expect a woman to actually submit to you, which submission means not submission the way we think it. It means submitting to the mission, which means you got to have some place to go. And she's submitting to where you are going in your life, not
That's
just
right.
submitting to you because you were born a male,
That's right.
or not because, or because you make the money, or, or whatever your masculine ego demands in that week or moment. But man, just being open enough to understand that it's complicated and it's give and take. It's a dance, bro. And a lot of people don't want to dance. I wish they even stop taking. I wish they take these marriage vows and just really and stop saying to death do us part, because we don't mean it. We don't. We mean until you piss me off,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
or until
And
you
I
do that thing my mama said don't do.
Till
You
you do
know,
what I tell
or
you
until
not
you
to do.
remind me. How about put? It's for better for worse, or until you remind me of my ex.
Yeah. And then I'm out of here.
Come on, man. Come on. It's the truth. Anyhow, ain't nobody talking about it. There's
Nobody
a
talks
reason.
about
There's a reason why millionaires and $100 are still divorcing.
it. Right. Because of problems and they get gone. I don't have to put up with this. I'm out of here.
Four
You know,
Hollywood people, four Hollywood marriages this week in the
this
paper
week
for this week alone.
they're, they're in,
Half of them are over 10 to $20 million strong,
yes, sir.
which means
Yes, sir.
money don't make nothing. It don't make nothing.
No.
It don't do nothing. It just creates more emptiness.
Yes, sir.
That's a whole
Yes.
nother show. That
I,
talk
I
about.
I would really like to be empty right now though. I know that.
I love it. Yes, sir. I feel you on that. Like I said, I
Yes,
love to be empty right now.
empty right now. But you're speaking a lot of truth tonight, and I speak about it all the time. A lot of people in relationships think that you're in a relationship with me, you're supposed to like everything about me. Don't you love me? And I'm like, yeah. And all men should be like, yes. All women should be like, yes, I do love you, but there are some things in you that I want to change, and that should be status quo in relationships. But a lot of people are like, no, when you're in a relationship, you love that person for the way they are. And I hate to
Well,
hear that.
well, well. There is truth to both sides of that, and I think that a lot of times when we get married and we get in these relationships, we get in these relationships because we like the idea of the individual, or the idea of having a companionship, or the idea of having a man that has a job, or the muscles, or the hips, or the lips and the fingertips, and all this stuff. But we don't really appreciate. We don't. Nobody's ever taught us the value of it. We're trying to fulfill some status quo, or in some cases, not even trying to go to hell for actually fornicating, or just trying to have somebody, or don't want to be, or really just want to be married for the sake of being married, or trying to fulfill some childhood dream, or just trying to have some trophy wife, or some honey, or some eye candy. We're not really interested in really getting to know people. And the reality of it is that you can't change people, and you really have to find someone that if nothing changed, you'd be okay with them being with you, because that is the biggest catalyst I feel for divorce is that you married me liking me, but you had your pencil out trying to erase stuff. And that's another thing men don't like. Yeah, I was like this when you met me, I was like this when you married me. Now, I mean, there, there's some real gray areas there, because if you were non-communicative, unfaithful, Roman I, verbally abusive, or worst case scenario, physically abusive, in a relationship or prior to that relationship, these things need to be visited and changed, because you can't be unhealthy or toxic. So anything that is unhealthy or toxic is needs to be addressed, changed, and implemented, or you need to get out. Okay, and all of those things can be changed. All those things. If you're in an abusive relationship, the abusive person can stop being abusive because most of them are abusing themselves or abusing someone else because they feel abused and they don't like themselves. So once again, if healing could take place, there are some measurables that you can see some change. Get out of it, if it doesn't show signs of at least acknowledgement and getting help, professional help, psychological help, counseling, etc. But the bad thing about it is that you really need to work on trying to change people, because nobody wants to be changed. You can influence me to make different, or you can enlighten my perception, but changing me, yeah, that's gonna be a problem, because your patience is gonna run out when I don't meet your expectations, and then now we got a problem.
True, true. And some relationships end that way.
Yeah,
Uh,
and they call those relationships irreconcilable differences. By the way, I just
irreconcilable. Yes, sir. Irreconcilable differences. I just feel like, I feel like when you get in a relationship with somebody, it's ultimately it's to strength. When you find someone who's your yin to your yang, they should be there to strengthen you. If you have weaknesses, they should help you strengthen those weaknesses. That's my only difference in what you're saying. I'm eye to eye with you, ear to ear, brain to brain, heart to heart with you on everything you said. It was lovely the way you verbalized that. But I also think that sometimes, and this is a big reason for the divorce rate also, a lot of people don't want to say, hey, don't want to look in the mirror and say, hey, I could do better in that area. I could be better in that area, and this woman or this man is worth it, and I'm going to change it. You know what I mean?
accountability is everything. Accountability, communication, and communicating. A lot of us have problems in our relationship because we have uncommunicated expectations.
Yes, sir.
But I couldn't agree with you more than strengthening what remains. But everybody's got to look into themselves. They say if you got one finger pointing at you, you got three more pointing at yourself. So one versus three. So it
Right.
just depends. Yeah. So,
Yes, sir.
well, we can
Yes, sir.
talk. We can talk all day about this kind of stuff. I just want to let you know,
Yes, sir.
communication
Yes, sir.
definitely rules the nation.
Communication rules the nation in relationships, y'all. Communicate. And we're speaking tonight with Kyland the Entertainer. And he's Mr. Houston, everybody. Mr. Houston is live right now with us on the radio and on Real Talk 100 Radio. Hey, y'all. We got deep there for a minute, but we're going to get back on track right now. Thank y'all for joining in tonight. Y'all share the video all over the world. We want everybody to know who Kylan is. We want everybody to know who Mr. Houston is. We want everybody to know who Real Talk 100 Radio is. So let's get back to it. Kylan Entertainment. What all do you do at Kylan Entertainment?
Kiland Entertainment is an LLC that actually embodies music, stage plays, music production, soundtrack production, and also incorporates live entertainment, comedy shows. We have a concert series that's called the Kyland Concert Series, which focuses on bringing live national acts to venues and arenas and stadiums in the area, as well as the Kylan Comedy Concert Series, which we just earmarked our first one this last month, that combines stand-up comedy with some of the nation's premier comics and with live music. And so the Kylan Entertainment embodies everything that is entertainment for venues, restaurants, motion pictures, plays, sound production, play production, music production, as well as movies, soundtracks, and productions of all sorts. Yes, sir.
Got your hands full. It takes a team to run something like that. Shout out. Do you have a team to shout out tonight?
I do. I do. I have a team of wonderful associates that help me as far as engineers and producers. and musicians, and of course my lovely wife Lakeisha. She has been one of my greatest assets. The Bible says a man finds a wife, finds a good thing, and obtains favor from the Lord. Thank God to her, for her rather. But outside of that, I have a great team of musicians, a great team of producers, great team of directors. Shout out to Joy Milano, who is the director on my new film. Jacob Broken by God, to Jeffrey Taylor, who's the producer of the film, and to all the executive producers, and so forth and so on. And you just a whole team that actually helps Kylan, and is blessed to be hired by Kylan, as well as to hire some of them as well. It's all about job creation for me.
All about job creation. Love it, man. Love it. Got to keep us working. Have to produce jobs. That's
Yes.
beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Kylan Entertainment LLC is who we're talking to tonight. Mr. Houston. He does a lot with singing, dancing. Not dancing. I just added something to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dancing. No. I don't do the dancing thing. That's when I can move a little bit. I'm known to shake a tail feather or two when I'm singing and whatnot, because the music does that to me. But that's not an income stream for me. No, I'm gonna leave that to someone else.
Leave it to somebody else.
Yes,
Kylan
indeed.
Entertainment. Y'all Google him. Google him. He's all over the social media. He's all over the internet. He does a lot in the entertainment industry. We've already touched on that. Let's move forward. Let's talk about some of the live shows that you got coming up. Mainly JW's Place, Soul Food and Barbecue.
Well,
What you got?
JW's place, and in particular, my sister, Miss Cassandra Webb, she has been a friend of mine for over a decade and has followed me and been in some faith-based environments that really lended itself to the introduction of us. And she's followed me and been a fan of mine for years. And I'm so very glad to be joining forces with her wonderful restaurant in the North Houston area in the city of Conroe. We are excited about doing some things with her. In particular, I do believe the third Thursday of this month, I do believe that's the 20th, we will be joining forces, Kylan Entertainment, and my wine will be coming there to do a one night show. And we're going to see how it goes, but we're going to start with a one night show that's there on the 20th. And I'm really excited about it because it's going to be great food, a tribute to one of my favorite artists, which is Mr. Luther Vandross. We're going to be tributing to him on that night. And then we're also going to be featuring my latest accomplishment, which is Kiland, the Cabernet, which is a wine. It's a blend. And so we're excited about that wine being available that night and developing a relationship where she's going to be carrying that wine even when I'm not there. So it's kind of exciting to say the least.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sounds exciting. Sounds exciting. October 20th, everybody, at JW's Place, Soul Food and Barbecue. We'll have Kylan Entertainment performing. He'll be having a tribute to the great Luther Vandross live on stage. He'll also be showcasing Kylan Cabernet. That's his own wine line, y'all. Y'all come out October 20th, enjoy some great food and some great wine that JW's Place is going to end up highlighting, showcasing at their restaurant and serving on a nightly basis. Kylan, boy,
Yes, sir.
you got your hands full, sir, and I can't wait till October 20th to see you.
Yes.
The last
And
time,
here is the infamous wine. It's Kylan's. It's right here. We're so excited about that. And that is the brand. That is the brand. It's Kylan's, the Cabernet. We're so excited about that being. And it is a wonderful Cabernet that it's a blend, which means it's got just the right amount of dry, a little notes of fruit, and a little sweet hint on the back end that makes it palatable for any meal or for any just fun day, Sunday, or brunch even. Yeah, it's great.
can't wait to taste it. Is that what you're sipping on right now?
Yes, sir. Sipping on that thing, boy.
Sounds good, my man. Sounds good. Kylan Cabernet is going to be in the building. JW's Place, Soul Food and Barbecue. Is Kylan Cabernet? Is it any other? Is it in any other outlets? stores, liquor stores?
Currently it is not. It's being sold direct right now, but and JW's is the first restaurant that we're partnering with to make it available. So we're kind of excited about that. It just launched the 1st of September, so it's fairly new. Hasn't been even out more than a month now. So all things considered, we are excited about the relationship with JW's and being the first restaurant that carries it. Hopefully, people will stop by JW's to get some good oxtails and a glass of Cabernet.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir. I am usually the maitre d. I am usually the host. Hopefully I'll be there October 20th. What is that, a Saturday?
That is a Thursday, actually.
Thursday. I might miss that night. I have a show here. I might have to cancel early in order to be there. Thursday night we have that show I referred to earlier.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Um, everybody else, yeah, if I'm not there, you can still be in attendance to see the tribute to the late
Oh yeah.
great Luther Vandross.
And if
Luther
you love Luther, you got to come. You got to come.
is Luther Vandross someone who inspired you to start singing?
Inspired me to start singing, no, but impacted my career. One of the major artists that inspired me to start singing, or inspired me, was of course Stevie Wonder and Donny Hathaway and Marvin Gaye. But Luther is right there, along with Peebo Bryson, Phil Perry, and Glenn Jones, and all those cats. But Luther has definitely been an artist that I have been known to. To channel, if you will. I did two songs of his on the new album, Love Won't Let Me Wait, actually three, an unreleased song called Ready to Love, and Love Won't Let Me Wait, of course, one of his all-time favorite ballads, as well as the infamous Skinny Luther when he sang Take You Out.
Yes,
So that's exciting. Yes, sir.
he did lose a lot of weight, man. I was proud of him.
Yes,
Proud.
they like him big, but he still had that Barry voice, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Would take over
So,
a crowd on any given night. Yes, he would. Yes, he would. Let's move on to his confessions, his love confessions. Let's talk about the album. Let's talk about the
well, once
album.
again, as we said earlier, it's an album that's available on all platforms. It's 17 songs of great music that embodies 13 originals written by yours truly and four covers paying tribute to Bobby Caldwell, Luther Vandross, Stevie Wonder, to name a few. And we're excited about that. Once again, it's available on all streaming platforms: iTunes, Amazon, YouTube, as well as Spotify and Diesel, Title, and the list goes on.
His love confessions. Now, when I hear the title of this album, I think of old Usher. This is my confession.
Right,
It's
right.
just when I thought I
Yeah,
could all I could
yeah,
say.
his song was a song talking about the topic. This is a project that deals with the confessions, that deals with love always, that deals with I like. I got one song that's called "I Like It a Lot," which is dealing with the fact that some people you like, as we talked about earlier, some people you like, and some people you love, and some people you love but you don't like, and some people you like but you don't love. And this particular song is dealing with the fact that I like the way you walk in a room. I like how I like it a lot. I like how when I'm in a fight, that the fight knows you got my back. That kind of stuff. A whole nother level.
Whole nother level. That's what
Yeah.
the song is about. What's the name of that particular
It's
song?
called I Like It a Lot. I like it a lot.
Men like that. Men like
Yeah,
to know.
yeah, we like that. Yeah,
Men
we
like to know, ladies. We're talking to you. We like to know that when we're in a fight, you have our back. It doesn't have to be a physical fight. It can be a verbal fight. It can
it can
be
be a
a
verbal fight. It can be a psychological. It could be the fight for me not to be like my daddy. And you
right.
strengthen me to tell me that I can start a new legacy with my sons. Oh, see, that's a whole nother. That's deep right there, bro. That's deep.
too too deep, Colin. I like it, man. We're gonna definitely have to have you back, man, to talk about some of these deep issues. We'll probably
Yeah,
call you in on one of our shows that talk about stuff like this. Father-son relationships, daughter
absolutely.
relationships, mental health. Issues that come from these relationships. we definitely have those deep conversations on other shows, and I can't wait to have you in here
Well,
because
I can't wait to come back. It's been a privilege to be with you all today. Thank you so much for the opportunity and the platforms. Please recognize that we are definitely October 20th. We are at JW's Kiland Entertainment. Those of you that are like this weekend, if you're watching this today, today is, I do believe, Friday. By Sunday, we do have Jacob Broken by God, the worldwide premiere. You can get those tickets on Eventbrite. Look up Jacob Broken by God. It's a feature film, red carpet Houston, the worldwide premiere here at the wonderful Deluxe Theater on Lines in the Great Third Ward area. That's this Sunday at 3 p.m. and at 7 p.m. Kylan Entertainment and booking me and finding out information can be found at I Am Kylan. That is IAMKILAD.com. That's where you can find where I'm performing, where I'm going to be. The wine is available there as well. You can find me directly and book me for your wedding parties, divorce parties, quinceañeras, just whatever, baby showers. We'll do it all for you. And we appreciate you. Man, it's been a pleasure.
Kiland.com.
I am Kylan.
I am Kiland.com.
Yeah. Yeah. Just as kind of like the sentence, I am Kylan.
I am Kiland.com. I got it.
That
I
is
got it. I got it. I'm about to put it on the screen for everybody. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming tonight. I know you're a busy man, and I know you got to get out of here to the next interview. So, hey,
yes,
man,
yes. And for those of you that are listening tonight, if you're live, just listen to this live. Tonight is Friday night. I'll be live on Isaiah Factor Uncensored at 10:30 p.m. on Fox 26. See you then.
I'm tuning in. I'm going home to tune in to you, my man. I am a fan.
All
I've
right.
been I've been a fan of you since we were at the house party in Tascasita.
God
I
bless you.
really liked you. Really liked your performance. Really liked your performance. And speaking of your performances, we're gonna go out with a bang tonight with "Be My Lady." "Be My
Yes,
Lady"
sir.
by Kylan tonight. I wish I could show you guys this video, but I have posted the video already on my Facebook page. I'm going to do my best to get it downloaded to our Facebook business page and our Instagram Real Talk 100 Radio page.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Try
Be My Lady, just right quick. Be My Lady is actually a song that was written from the context of after is when a man meets boy meets a girl and figures out that this is not just another woman. This is his wife that he just met. She don't know it. He can only feel it. And he introduces himself like, hey, pretty girl, would you be my lady? I'd like to talk to you for a minute, baby. I don't mean to intrude, but I think me and you supposed to have some kids or something because and it's not a player move. It's not trying to get, the draws. It's really just really saying, I see substance in you and I want that substance. I've been looking for a good kind of lady, and you look like the type of lady that my mama told me I should try and find. Now, what you doing tomorrow?
I like talking to you. I like I like talking to you. I like talking to you because I know you got to get out of here. And every time you open your mouth, it makes me want to say something else. So
Well,
let's
listen. Well, remember this. Be My Lady, as well as 5 other songs from the album, are on YouTube. They have official music videos. You can go to YouTube, type in Kylan Be My Lady, and you can see what the visual concept was of what I just shared, as well as others.
ladies. Listen, this is a great man to listen to. He knows what to say to ladies, just like I do. That's why I'm smiling so much. Hey, we like what we see in y'all. When we look at you from a distance, we see substance in you. That is the last comment he said, and that's how we're going to
Yes.
end the show. We look for substance. We're not always looking at lips, hips, and fingertips.
No.
Sometimes it's about more than that. It's about what's in here, and what comes out of your mouth that matters to us. That's called substance, and
Substance.
that's
Something
what.
you can build with.
Yes, sir.
Something you can build with. Let me leave you and your audience with something. Ladies, if you're listening to me, there is a word that is the strongest thing that a man needs in his life, and it starts with the letter P. Peace.
Peace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
God
Peace.
bless you on that note.
You hit the
Didn't
hammer
think I was going there.
nail.
Peace is better than anything.
Yes, sir.
I can
Better than
sleep
anything
at night.
a woman can give a man. That's right.
Peace,
That's
baby.
right. We're
And
gonna
then
end.
and then give me a piece.
And then give me a piece. Give me peace and then give me a
Give me
piece.
a piece. Won't he do it? No, glory to God. I feel a witness in here. Well, let me get off here. I love you, man. Thanks and shouts out to everybody on your team. God bless you. Continue support with you and your vision. God bless you. Well, looking forward to JWs once again. Third Thursday, October 20th. Shouts out to my sister, Miss Webb, and all of those at JWs. We're going to have a good time. Luther's in the building, y'all. He's going to be through me. Come on out. God bless.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Have a good night. Keland, nice meeting you, man, and we'll see you soon on Thursday night at JW's Place, Soul Food.
Until then, sir.
Y'all come
God
out.
bless.
Y'all come out. Y'all come out on Thursday. Thursday, there are tickets available, correct?
I do believe you can just come to the store. Yeah. Come to the restaurant. Probably want to come early though, because it's gonna be crowded.
Come to JW's Place, Soul Food and Barbecue Thursday night. Thursday night, Kiland will be doing a special tribute performance for the late great Luther Vandross, and will be debuting his wine, Kiland Cabernet.
Kiland. Got to get that right. I don't want them to say Kiland. Ain't no E in my name.
Kiland.
That's all right. You and a lot of people say Kiland, but it is Kiland. It's Kiland.
Okay. Kiland Cabernet will be highlighted at JW's Place, Soul Food and Barbecue. That's all we got tonight, y'all. We'll see y'all soon at Real Talk 100 Radio. This is Kiland. Y'all check him out. His name is Kiland Entertainment. Hey, look up Mr. Houston also. It's been a pleasure, sir. We'll see you soon.
Signing off. God bless.